Joining us now is Professor Ihsan Al-Khatib, political science professor, to explore how these protests reflect deepening cracks in Israeli society and what they actually mean for the war in Gaza. Professor Al-Khatib, welcome to Q News. Sir, how significant is it that the detainee families themselves are leading these nationwide protests?
Nothing new. They have been demonstrating, they have been protesting, they have been trying to apply all kinds of public pressures. They have a lot of support from the Israeli society, but I don't think it's enough. I think there is also another Israel. There is Israel that's protesting, and there is Israel that's still supporting the war. That's Israel that hoping that they can find a way to get rid of the Palestinians, have a greater Israel from the river to the sea, and they support the prime minister. The prime minister of Israel still has support in Israeli society. He has some popularity, important, I think, popularity after attacking Iran, after the pager operation in Lebanon. So he does have support. So he is in his position because he was elected, and he still has the support of his coalition. Yes, these protests are real pressure on him, but he has been able to ignore them so far, and he can continue to do that.
Okay, but according to Haaretz, a mother of one of the detainees told Netanyahu, game over, I quote and unquote. So does this moment represent a turning point in Israeli politics, or do you think that Netanyahu and the Israeli government will continue to ignore what's going on, as you just said?
The camp that supports the prime minister and his coalition, they have defined the war from day one as an existential war. They have defined it as a second war of independence. So imagine this, the way of framing it indicates that they're willing to sacrifice from their point of view and to pay a heavy price to achieve their goals. Therefore, having all these detainees die, I don't think they care. This cabinet thinks it's a small price to pay to achieve what they want to achieve, which is the greater Israel from the
Greater
river to the
Israel.
sea. And they have paid actually a heavy price. Israel has paid billions of dollars in the war. Hundreds of soldiers have died, almost 1,000, thousands of injured. It has become a pariah state. Many states are recognizing Palestine. So they have really paid a heavy price, and they're not going to end it without getting something in return. I mean, they're hoping that they can have greater Israel, but they're not going to end it just because a few people, hundreds of thousands even, have protested. There are millions of Israelis, 7 million Israelis, and to have 100,000 Israelis, that doesn't, that doesn't do the trick. There are millions of Israelis, and I don't think there are enough people against Netanyahu for his government to fall before he can continue. I mean, it is bothering him. It is disrupting lives in Israel, but not enough for them to say, I have to stop.
Axios has just reported that Trump announced Gaza deal is in its final stages. Based on this, what are your expectations for tomorrow's meeting between Trump and Netanyahu?
I'm not optimistic. Trump is the salesman. Trump likes to exaggerate. Trump is a showman. He likes to make shows. He likes attention. 2 weeks, always he likes to say 2 weeks, 2 weeks, something will happen. He just can't stop being a showman and
Bragging. He likes to
style.
brag.
Yeah, bragging and showing off and saying 2 weeks. It's like everything is 2 weeks, something will happen in 2 weeks. A magical number, he pulls it out of thin air. 2 weeks.
Yes.
The problem is for Trump, the same problem with Biden. I really believe that Trump and Biden wanted to end the war. They didn't believe in this war. They thought it's not good for the Palestinians, it's not good for the Israelis. And the deep state in the US told them it's not good. It's going to be a disaster for Israel. A lot of Palestinians are going to die, but Egyptians are not going to accept to take the Palestinians. Another Nakba, the Jordanians will not accept. The Israelis will find themselves occupying 2 million Palestinians. There will be guerrilla attacks against them for years. So it's a disaster for them. Tell them not to get into Gaza. Biden advised them. They didn't care. Why? They know they can count on unlimited support of the US for many reasons. One is that the Washington is with Israel. The deep state, not the deep state, the institutions, the Congress is with Israel. I mean, the Republican leaders until now, Republican leaders Democratic leaders.
The Knesset, you mean?
No, in the U.S. Now,
Okay, the
Netanyahu was stronger
Congress.
in the U.S. Yes, Netanyahu was stronger in the U.S. than even in Israel. When he
Okay.
comes to the U.S., to Washington, is more popular than Trump himself. I mean, he has standing ovations from both sides. Trump can't get the standing ovation from both sides. Biden didn't get the standing ovation from both sides. Israel is still strong. So when Trump is doing the calculation whether to pressure,
Yes, but there is also
uh,
the Jewish lobby in the Congress. It's always pressuring
exactly.
the
Yeah, exactly.
administration,
So
the
yeah.
American
So you
administration.
have
It's well known.
but the support from the Congress because of the Jewish lobby. So you have
Yes.
millions of dollars provided in elections,
Yes.
and the major donors. So when Netanyahu comes to Washington, who does he meet with? He stays for a number of days. He doesn't only meet with Trump. He meets with Israel supporters, major donors, leaders of the Republican Party, leaders of the Democratic Party. Yes, Democrats are with the Palestinians. They want to end the war, but the leaders of the Democratic Party are still with Israel. So if he wants to start a fight with Netanyahu, the American system is against him. Actually, still with Netanyahu. The leaders are with Netanyahu. The lobbyists are with Netanyahu. And it's a battle that he will pay a heavy price if he starts a fight with Netanyahu, because the Jewish lobby is dominated by Likud supporters. I mean, most Jews, I think, are against the war and they're not happy with what Netanyahu is doing. But the Likud supporters, Netanyahu supporters, they have a lot of money and they dominate the Jewish lobby in Washington, and they're giving unlimited support to Netanyahu. So for Trump to start a fight with Netanyahu, especially his agenda, he has an agenda in the U.S. that's controversial. His numbers are down. The economy is showing signs of weakness. He will have a fight on his hand. The Jews have a very strong position, presence in the media. They're very influential.
The media, the economy. Yes, it's well known.
Disproportionate.
They
they're 2% of they're 2% of the population, but then if you look at, we have more than 1,000 billionaires in this country, more than 1,000, I think 1,130. Disproportionate number of them are Jews. How many of them are Palestinians or Arab? I don't think any of them. So you have here the money issue. And as long as the Jewish lobby supports Netanyahu, Trump will have difficulty pressuring Netanyahu.
Yes. Some Israeli families accuse Netanyahu of using the detainees to political gain, even also displaying what we call, some sort of show to gain more time and to continue in power. What do you think of that?
Netanyahu doesn't care about the detainees. Actually, his coalition, they prefer that all of them die and they be over with it. I mean, they have more important goals in Gaza and in the West Bank than a small number of Israelis. I mean, how many Israeli soldiers have died? To them, Israeli soldiers also have sacrificed. It's an existential war. It's a second war of independence. I don't think they care. I think one of the members of the cabinet said that's not our main goal in Gaza, fleeing the detainees. And then they had to backtrack, say, oh, no, that's our main goal. That's not their main goal. Excuse me. If that's what they wanted, actually, Hamas has always said, yes, we give you all the detainees, all these hostages, as long as you end the war permanently and you withdraw. And Netanyahu said no. So it's not about the hostages. It's about greater Israel. In the 80s, there was an extreme rabbi called Meir Kahane. I think he was an American guy who immigrated to Israel. And Kahane, he had extreme views, even for that Israel at the time, about kicking out all the Arabs, greater Israel, and applying religious law, all that, and making Israel like a Jewish Iran. They put him in prison, actually, and they called him a terrorist and all that. Now, today, this Israel is Kahane's Israel. These people subscribe to the views of Meir Kahane, where it's basically in Israel, that's the equivalent of Iran, Jewish Iran, where the religion of Judaism plays a bigger public role There is no control on the prime minister. He's basically a king, setting aside the checks and balances from the Supreme Court. They are remaking Israel into Israel 2.0. And for them, I mean, few Jews, 100 Jews die. It's not a big deal. How many detainees are left? I don't think it's a small number alive. I don't think they cared. They think that this is a big deal.
Yes, but what's remarkable here, Professor, is that the Israeli police have arrested protesters, yet the momentum is building. It's growing. How do you see this movement evolving in the weeks ahead?
I mean, they have been. It's 2 years. It's been 2 years, so that's a long time. And as the Israeli political system, as long as Netanyahu had the support of his coalition, he remains in power. It doesn't matter how many protests. A million people can go on the street, and still he'll be able to stay in power because his coalition, his support, and elections are not going to be until another year. Okay. So he's good for another year. Are they going to protest for another year? They can't, but he still doesn't get it. He thinks, Netanyahu thinks that he is like important, like David and Solomon, and he thinks that he's the historic leader of Israel. And for him to have, hundreds of thousands of protests, all that, he doesn't care. He thinks.
So you don't think that this wave of protest in Israel could force Netanyahu into a detainee deal? Do you think so? Or will he risk even deeper unrest?
Unless they escalate, where you have tens of thousands of people being arrested, destruction of public property, going really crazy with their actions. As long as they're abiding by the law, they protest when they're off work. The way they've been protesting, they haven't been disrupting the lives of people in Israel. They have been protesting. It's like a show. It's like a side job. But if they make it like a day in, day out, disrupting life in Israel, causing problems, you have thousands of people going to prison, I think that would be a real problem for Netanyahu. But they haven't done that. They haven't really escalated. I don't know if they will do that. I doubt they'll do that because the supporters of Netanyahu will actually emerge, and there'll be like fights between them. I don't think he will use the government. He'll probably use his supporters to beat them up and all that. And then the police will say, well, we're trying to enforce order. And so I don't, the man, Netanyahu, is a genius. He's a very bright guy. He's been around for a long time. He knows the political system in Israel. He knows Israeli society. He knows American society. This guy is exceptional. And he knows what he's doing.
Yes, an exceptional killer indeed, and he knows how to stay in power for a long time. Professor Ihsan Al-Khatib, thank you so much for joining us and for your valuable analysis. Thank you so much.